Good morning, everybody. It's Yankee Wally here. Oh, I am pleased to be back. It's 9:22 a.m., Wednesday, the 6th of November. And the biggest thing I want to say to you is congratulations, America. Honestly, fantastic. I can remember at the 2020 election, I went to bed and it was basically in the bag. I didn't go to bed till about, I think it was 1 o'clock in the morning, our time. And Trump was way ahead of Biden. And I can remember waking up and I couldn't believe my eyes. It was almost like it had been snatched while I was asleep. And this time around, I thought, no, I'm not going to go to sleep. But then they said the results will be available in UK around at 1:48 UK time. So I just nodded off then, and I woke up, checked my phone, and blow me, it was exactly 1:28. I'd been asleep for about 3 hours, and it was 1:28. I thought, that's a message from above. It must be. Of all the times I could have woke up, I woke up at 1:28. So I've been online ever since, and I've been following it, and it was, I'll tell you what, Trump being elected president has not just saved America, it's basically saved the world. And I'm not exaggerating there. The things that Trump has got planned will affect the whole of the world, because America, let's face it, is the biggest country. And Australia as well has been going through the same economic crises. I mean, you've had so much in increases in the price of your groceries. You've also had a terrible problem with people coming over the border. Now, on a smaller scale, and even Australia on a smaller scale, they have people coming from other countries in small boats. I can't remember where the Australian ones come from, but it's something in the top right-hand corner, somewhere up there. And in Britain, we've got the Syrians, Eritreans, and God knows, you don't even know where they're from because they don't tell the truth. They throw all their identification, passports, whatever, overboard. They don't want you to know where they're from or who they are because they tell lies about their age. They say they're younger to get more help and things like that. Now, Trump wanted to build the wall, and UK, well, supposedly wanted to stop the illegal immigrants. Not the legal ones, no, the illegal ones. Now, I could never understand the deeper meaning behind wanting to stop them. I just knew that they brought anguish, majority of them. They were mostly of working age, young boys, young men, with no family, no wives, no children, just them looking for rich pickings, I would say, looking for an easy life and the ability to send money back home to their family. Because it doesn't seem right that if somebody's escaping war and persecution or whatever it is, why would they leave their wives behind and their children? If it's that dangerous and the people you love, that's what doesn't make sense, does it? The Mexicans do bring their children, and they were being welcomed in. And then there's stories about girls, women in America being raped and all sorts of murdered and all sorts by these legal immigrants. Now, are they so bad that they can't even give their proper names? And that makes it even worse, doesn't it? So I was obviously following. I'm very fascinated by American presidencies. I can't say politics because I don't know enough, but the presidency elections. And I'm also fascinated by American crime trials, live trials. And in this last week, America has done what they call a hat trick. 1 bump, 2 bump, 3 bump. First one, let me just finish about this now. So, why, or what additional problem, should I say, have the immigrants illegal caused America? Well, I've been fishing around the YouTube and I've been told or seen plenty of evidence, with YouTube. It's very hard to lie when you've got video footage and people being interviewed on the streets of these particular places, that the illegal immigrants are being flown in or brought in and transported from the border into what I now know to be swing states, as they call them. I didn't understand what a swing state was until day before yesterday, I think. But I listened to a video, Donald Trump and Elon Musk talking. No, not Elon, Joe Rogan and Elon Musk talking. And Elon Musk did a little 5-minute video. I wish I could show it you, because I've lost the ability to transfer files from my phone over to this iPad. It's not an iPad, it's a pad. A tab, sorry, isn't it? But basically, they put these immigrants, illegal immigrants, into towns where, when they vote, it will affect the voting. So, of course, the current president is Biden-Harris. So if they are bringing in all these immigrants and not stopping them, like Trump promised to, they would put them into these states where they needed a majority of Liberal Democrats, because they were maybe sitting on the fence, these states were. So if they could push in 100,000 immigrants into a particular county, then they could secure the vote. Now, before that may not seem that important to you, but given knowing that, in 4 years' time, they still wouldn't have closed the border. They'd still be bringing in these illegal immigrants, still putting them into the, what they call it, the heart of America, the absolute heart of America, all around there, and getting the votes to change will grow in 4 years. There'll be more people coming in. And the chance to get control of the country again will be significantly less than it is yesterday, or was yesterday. So that was the importance, that I say that if Trump hadn't gotten in this time, there's very little chance he would have done it. And subsequently, that has a knock-on effect on the rest of the world, because when Trump makes a decision, he doesn't make it to placate the deep state, the globalists. He does it to satisfy you and, well, not me, you. And he does it with, not to gain money, not to gain favoritism with the big cabal. He does it for the ordinary working class American, of which there are far, far more than there are globalists, millionaires, and people with an ego as big as the moon. Elon Musk has not got a big ego. He's not a narcissist. Trump may look like a narcissist, but he's a very deeply concerned person who cares deeply about America, to the point where he puts the needs of you before money for him. He didn't draw a wage last time he was president. Now, we got Meghan Markle, who said she'd leave if Trump was elected president. So that should tell you something. Oprah Winfrey said she'd leave. And all the people that like Biden, on a personal level, I don't like them. I really don't. There's something about them that's very iffy. And everybody that supports Trump, I can usually have a bit of respect for. So I'm extremely happy today. Oh, gosh, because I know that, again, here's another one. China has been importing cars into America, and they're good cars. There's nothing wrong with them. The Asians have a real knack for making cars efficient and small and all that. I've got a very bad chest. I need a cough. Sorry about that. I'm just thinking now, I bet Kamala was shepherding those illegal immigrants into those swing states like a ninja, crazily, over the last few months because she... Oh, it's caught me again. Hold on. I forgot where I was then. But anyway, let's go back to... Excuse me. I beg your pardon. I really do. You know Meghan Markle and her American Riviera Orchard. God, what a terrible, terrible name. She's now got a beauty products being put out called Forest Awakening. Honestly, she really is away with the fairies, this one. Forest Awakening. What's it called? Tatcha. Hinoki body oil, Hinoki body wash, Hinoki body milk. All these long, dramatic names that she picks for anything. I know she puts a lot of thought into it, as Archie Well and Archie, and, but American Riviera Orchard was well, they called Montecito, I think, the American Riviera, didn't they? But if she had paid more attention to other people's advice and other people's behaviour, she would have known. In fact, when I bought the parlour, I named it A1 Leisure. Why? Well, it was simple, A1. It went first in the phone book, or first in... They used to have a column in the South Wales free ads where you could... massages and services, I think. We always went to the top until all the other ones tried to copy me by putting... there was A1 Excelsior, A1 Whitchurch Road. There was so many that copied me, but obviously I thought of it first. But in her position, look at Gwyneth Paltrow, right? She called her business Goop. And I can remember reading an article. Why did she call it Goop? Well, she said in her research, some sort of research, it said that things with a double O tend to attract attention. I could understand that. Two big eyes, Google, and things like that. So she went for that. And of course, then you've got to choose something that nobody else has chosen. So there you go, Goop. And then you have to have some sort of gimmick to sell something. And in her case, it was the vagina-scented candle. I couldn't have done that, but, fair play to Gwyneth, she saw it through. So Goop was the name, Fanny Candles was the game. But of course, if Meghan had done the Fanny Candles, it'd probably have stunk the shop out. I'm sorry, that was rude. But as far as the name of her company goes, she'd have been better off with Hoot. How about that? That's good. Hoot. Moot. She could have found something, couldn't she? Anything, but because it was too long and too dramatic. And her advertisement for that cooking thing, with her in the long black dress, sort of Vaseline on the lens, and she's stuck in the 90s, she is. She's stuck because she isn't learning anything, because she refuses to listen, and she likes to go her own way, and everything she touches turns to SHIT. It does. She hasn't had one success, not one. Not one. And I know that you're fed up of talking about her, and so am I. With a bit of luck, they'll leave America now. With a bit of luck, Trump will not do anything, even though he said, or his son said, I think it was Jared, said that his father isn't going to do anything about Harry's visa. Well, they can say that. They can say that just to sit on the fence while Donald was fighting for presidency. But the truth is, Donald was very, very fond of Queen Elizabeth II, very fond of her. Very strong he is on the United Family front, which, even though I haven't got one myself, and a lot of us, yourselves included, haven't, there's something very wholesome and morally sound about families sticking together, And Trump does that. The royal family obviously do it. Meghan was a thorn in their side. And nobody, Donald Trump included, could miss the fact that she was divide and rule, divide and rule, divide and rule. And now Harry's trying to make his way back. Good God. If his friends have got any brains at all, they will see that they are his last chance saloon. He wants his friends back because he lost them all, and they went because he kicked them to the curb. So no, I can't see his friends forgiving him for what he's done to all of them. And not only that, he insulted the royal family terribly. I've been annoyed this last day because Queen Camilla has got a chest infection, the same as me. And the comments received, she's not the queen, oh God, she's been through all this in the 90s. It wasn't her fault Diana died. When Charles didn't show the interest in her that she wanted or expected, she married Andrew Parker Bowles. Charles has called the shots right through that relationship. Make no bones about it. I need to have a good cough and take some medicine. Hold on. So about the Chinese situation with the cars. Trump isn't saying that you can't have Chinese cars. You can have whatever you want in America. You are the epitome of democracy and make your own mind up, freedom. He's going to put a tariff onto the Chinese. So every single car they deport or America imports, he's going to put 100% tariff. So that means that if they bring their car into USA and charge, I don't know, $20,000 or whatever, they're going to have to pay 20,000 tariff. So they're going to have to double the price of their cars in order to make the same profit. And the alternative is for them to bring their factory into America and to have American people employed making these cars. Otherwise, he's going to reopen Detroit and make it the car capital of America again, which is great. And then, obviously, General Motors and all of the ones that normally make the bigger cars, SUVs, they're going to start making their cars smaller, probably anyway. But then again, as Donald Trump said, you're sitting on the most oil in the world and natural resources America's got by the ton. And you've got so much prosperity in your soil. And let's be honest, that's sitting on a gold mine, no doubt about it. But it didn't seem to be going anywhere with Kamala Harris and Biden. It was all sorts of... I've been listening to Kamala Harris talk, and absolutely nothing of value is ever said. She keeps on talking about the same things. Like, I know your groceries are expensive, we'll sort that. Well, she's had 4 years. She could have done it. It's going up, not down. And then she said she worked in McDonald's, and that was proved to be a load of lies. Lady Colin Campbell interviewed a woman who actually lived in the same street as Kamala, and said she doesn't come from a black family. I think this was in Jamaica. I don't know how true... I can't... Oh, here I go again. Hold on. Oh, dear. Anyway, I'm sure Kamala is a very nice person, despite her accent changing all the time. But she hasn't got the capabilities to change the future of America. In fact, if she even wants to, don't think she does. Because nothing's been done so far. She was on about not taxing tips given to restaurant, waitresses and so on. She could have stopped those straight away. She's been in power now, or her and Joe Biden are the same political party for the last 4 months. So why make promises like that if you're in the position to do it, yet you don't? So she must think we're all stupid. Anyway, enough about that. The other thing I want to talk about is the 2 live court trials that have been gripping. Oh, gosh, I haven't been able to tear away. And very good it was for me too, because I've been coming off my antidepressants. And the reason for that is, well, I'll tell you in a minute. It's a bit complicated. But anyway, the first one was Sarah Boone. There was no doubt about it. She did put her boyfriend, or he put himself in, she zipped it up in a suitcase. But Her worst enemy was herself, because when she was called to give evidence, something was said about him trying to get out the suitcase, and she saw his hand coming through, and she was so scared he was coming through the little gap in the zip that she poked it with a baseball bat until he put it back in again. So that more or less sealed her fate as far as I was concerned. Very, very cocky woman she was, full of herself, thought she was always right. I feel sorry for her. She's damaged beyond belief. Terrible drinking problem. Jorge wasn't much better, but they were counter-dependent on each other, and it was a very unhealthy relationship. Anyway, she got found guilty, which was no surprise. I don't know what the sentence is. That's going to come later. And then we've got, good God, Melody Trala Faris. Oh my God, what a woman she was. Hard-faced. Could be an attractive woman, even though she had a mouth like Homer Simpson. Great big top lip, huge puffy top lip, just like Homer Simpson. And yet, the overall picture of her, very attractive woman. I don't know why I'm saying that, because I didn't even know if she had any teeth or she didn't. And her eyes were like little chips of coal. Hard. But her hair was lovely, even though it wasn't particularly thick hair or thin hair or curly hair. She had gone back to grey and had it cut in her. In fact, it was so nice that I got my kitchen scissors and I've cut the identical haircut for me. I'm sporting it right now, but it's in bunches now because it needs a wash. But, you know, down to the jaw, all the same length. Very nice haircut. But that didn't save her. She was willing to throw her son, Scott, under the bus. She was willing to blame him. And after the trial was over and the jury went into deliberation, I think it was on Thursday they started the deliberation, last Thursday, and then it went into Friday, and we thought we'd have a result, and then all over the weekend, and Monday this week they said we're deadlocked to the judge. Hung. And he sent them back and said, do it some more. And next thing you know, it was only within a couple of hours, guilty on all 5 charges, which was felony murder, capital murder, telling lies, and abusing a corpse. And anyway, and the wonderful thing was about it was when they read the guilty verdicts, the spokesman for the jury, excuse me, he read them from number 5 up to number 1. Well, as they went from 1 down to 5, they lessened in importance. So, being found guilty of number 5 was no biggie if you were found not guilty of the 4 above it. But he said, the charge number 5, guilty, and she, shrugged like. Then 4, guilty, and then 3, guilty, and she went to talk to a lawyer. She was going in his ear then. And then 2 and then 1, guilty. Oh my God. Mind you, she deserved it. Her husband, 38 years marriage, she hated him. Oh, she really did hate him. And of course, there was money involved. And the one thing I think was wrong with that family is that both the mother and the father never brought their children up to learn the value of money, or to respect money, or to be self-sufficient with money. Those kids were all used to daddy paying, or daddy buying, or daddy picking up the tab for. And that in itself created jealousy if one got more than the other. And then the mother arising above it all and saying, he shouldn't be giving these kids this money. That was mostly her argument. And that shows, I never as a child did I ever have a hand up for anything. And I'm glad I didn't, because those children, the Faris 4, they didn't really appreciate the value of money and how to budget. That's it. And so, but at the same time, why would they kill the goose that laid the golden egg? Why would they kill Gary? She had much more reason, and it was over 4 million she stood to gain. if he had an accidental death, which immediately, within 24 hours, she was ringing Gary's law firm and saying, what's the word when they, no foul play, no foul play has been found. So, and then they found a bullet in his rib. So I bet she thought that bullet would melt with the rest of him. I tell you what, that man's last hours must have been torture, because nobody knows because he's dead, but all that was left of him was his skull and a bit of hip bone, scapula somewhere. Oh, absolutely shocking. How could you do that? I don't understand how people can do that. Anyway, she's 64. And, then she defiantly took her pearl earrings out, on the camera, sitting in her seat as the 5 guilty plea, was announced. She took her earrings out, and I had them in her hand ready to give to her lawyer. How noble of her. How brave. And she didn't cry either. She looked bloody angry, to be honest. So we'll have to wait and see about that. Her sentencing is coming up in December, I believe. It'll be interesting to see what she gets. But at 64, I can't imagine her walking the streets again. What a loss for the stupid old bugger, eh? She, mind you, she must have been addicted to sex. Some people are nymphomaniacs. Some people are different from others. Me, I'm on the lower end of the spectrum myself. If I had a choice of going to bed with Pierce Brosnan or a lovely lamb and roast potatoes and mint sauce dinner, I know which I would choose. And there is no competition. I just... But Lusty, her boyfriend, Rusty, he was a bit of a bugger too. Don't know what they put in the drinking water down there in Alfettaville, but they want to lay off it. Anyway, I've got to just go and have a good cough. Okay, so that's that anyway. So those 3 things have kept me busy over the last 3 weeks. Now, I started checking my memory. I got a brother, and he's my only living sibling. And about 4 months after we lost our mother, he developed the signs of dementia, which was devastating. And I don't know if it was the shock of losing our mum, but anyway, Roddy now is in a care home, a residential care home in Abergavenny. And ever since Rod was diagnosed, I've been checking my memory, racking my brains to remember something that normally I just let go, but I can't. I was getting obsessed with, have I got dementia? So I thought, well, it could be that, because I was on huge amounts of antidepressants and antipsychotics. And I thought, well, the antidepressants are the larger dose. I was on, if you called them all 37.5 milligram, I was on 6 a day or 3 75s. So I started cutting them in half to 37.5s. And I got down to 1 a day, one of those. But then I started going a bit the other way. And if you know yourself, don't you? I'm now pretty much stable at 2 half tablets a day, one at 6 a.m., one at 6 p.m. I don't think my memory's improved at all. No, I don't think so. I'm a bit more alert, but I don't think my memory's improved, but I don't care so much about it. So the tablet reduction, I think, was a good thing. As far as the antipsychotics are concerned, I've left those alone because I take one at night and it does help me sleep. So I'll try and half that, though. It's a 100 milligram tablet. I've got a plan anyway, and I manage all my medical needs and things like that without going to the doctor. I've got a paranoia about the doctor. When I was young, I'd go with anything. Now, you can't drag me there. And I have got a bad chest infection. And then I was thinking of poor old Queen Camilla. And I thought, well, she's got chest infection too. Maybe I should be careful, because they said, if it goes into That word with a P. I was going to say Philadelphia. I'm so wrapped up in the election. Not pleurisy, pneumonia. That's it. But I think I'll be all right. Anyway, that's why I've been a bit quiet of late. I've coming down off any tablets that you've been taking for since 1998. I've been on the venlafaxine, and sometimes I've been down to low doses. Sometimes, when I was in prison, for instance, they whacked the dose even higher than the ones 6 a day I was on. Yeah, terrible. But you've got to be careful, because you just don't know if they're doing you any good or if this is your normal self. I get very confused about whether it's the tablets talking or me talking. But I do know I'm calm. I'm always calm. But I don't quite know what I can attribute to the tablets and what I can't. So that's that anyway. I don't think I've got anything else to say. But I'm trying very hard to get myself back on track again. I still love, Fiona is my best friend, Gertie and Sandy South and Annie and all the people, Alice Sings, all the people that are patrons of mine. And I feel like I feel like I'm doing you down, falling short, because I should be doing far, far more for people that are generous enough to support me. And I thank you so much for that. I must make a list of everybody. I can't show you any pictures or anything, because I've basically been offline while I'm fighting the demons in my head. Oh God, my chest is bad, my hips are bad, my knees are terrible, and my right leg, from the knee down to the ankle, swelled up terrible a couple of weeks ago. And I rubbed Hydroid cream all over it, which did help, but it doesn't cure it. It just brings out the bruising. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it was I started looking at all these varicose veins on my legs. And then once I come to terms with that, then my right leg just puffed up like a balloon. And it was up for about a week, but it's gone down now. As you get older, and it's even when I was younger, you have good days and bad days. And I don't mind that. I'm fine with the good days and bad days. I can even laugh about them. But when you're coming down off antidepressants as well, then you've got to watch what you're doing and saying, oh, my bloody fridge is packed up. I was in here one day, I heard this enormous bang. And it wasn't the fridge, it was a can of Coke or something inside that had exploded so bad it ripped the can. And so I got that out, and then the fridge wasn't working anymore. And I thought, oh, bugger it, I don't bloody need a fridge anyway. Well, I do really. I'm in a bit of a mess at home here, to be honest. Oh, God. That's another story I don't want to go into, but my house, my flat, is so dirty now. It really is, that I would never let anybody in here. Not anymore. No, I can't. I got a bit of a chest problem anyway, and I don't know what, something's wrong with me, but I just don't really want to know what it is. Fire brigade called here the other day. It was on a Saturday or a Sunday. Knocked right on my door, said they'd had a call, there was a fire. And I said to him, oh, God, no, I didn't take a photo because I didn't have my phone in my hand when he came to the door. And I said, I haven't got a fire in here. I said, I haven't even got a fridge at work. He said, can I just have a quick check around? Because it's been, it's here. And I said, no. And then he said, can I talk to you then? And come outside. So I stood on the step and went to close the front door behind me. It was on the latch. And he said, no, I meant come in. And he said, well, where's your shoes? I said, I haven't got any on. Anyway, he went away eventually. I think what they did was they sat in the van and waited for smoke to go billowing out my windows, which didn't happen. So I wonder who rang the fire brigade. And then I had a missed call. I don't answer unidentified numbers, but sometimes if I see it, I'll send a text and say, can you identify yourself? And this one texted me back and said, it's Avon and Somerset Police. And I said, whatever's the matter? And I haven't heard back yet. So I don't think it's that important, but I hope to God it's not that bloody trouble starting again, because I know there's still a lot of drama. I listen to Truth Central, and I listen to, I've got I have got a dog in the race. I have. I care about those I care about, and I don't care about the ones that are troublesome and liars. I don't like liars. But anyway, I'm wondering now if they're up to their tricks again, because that's the sort of thing they do. You've got to remember, if you're listening, that if you send the police or the fire brigade, police didn't turn up, it was a phone call, but if you send the fire brigade, there could be somebody burning to death in Caerphilly or somewhere in Cardiff that will die because the fire brigade were busy with me. Just bear that in mind when you ring the fire brigade willy-nilly and think that it's cool to send the fire brigade to my flat. It's not cool. It won't do anybody any good. It just might put somebody else's life in danger. And so I'll finish off by saying, congratulations, USA. Maybe some of you don't realise what a huge, huge thing this is. This has stopped the takeover of the world, and I can't say it better than that. Oh my, it's just going again. I'll close now, and I'm going to try and come back gradually. Oh, excuse me, I got to go now anyway. Thank you very much for listening. Cheerio!